Welcome Pisces to your Mercury Cazimi deep dive video. On May the 14th, Mercury, the communicator, but also the planet of precision, applies to the Sun in an exact conjunction in the Earth sign of Taurus, which is so precise. They're totally unified. Mercury sits in the disk of the Sun, and the Sun's rays and raw energy magnifies Mercury's great qualities. It's a marvelous opportunity for us all. But what will it mean for you personally, Pisces? I'm going to share your event chart from a purely Piscean viewpoint. And by the end of the video, you'll know how to embrace this in terms of your vitality, your work, your finances, but also your relationships. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. If we go back to the 7th of March, Pisces, we had a Mercury Cazimi. It was in your sign, but it was an inferior conjunction. Why? Because Mercury was in retrograde. Also, when Mercury arrived in your sign on the 6th of February, it triumphed for you an opportunity to move forwards with brilliant ideas, particularly around creativity, flair, artistry, music, writing, anything that really helps you to flow. But in a more practical dimension, as Mercury went into its pre-retrograde shadow, the retrograde of about 21 days, the post-retrograde shadow, the whole process takes around about 9.5 weeks. And the water of your sign, but also the atmospheric energy of Pisces, eroded the clarity that Mercury thrives upon. And you may have experienced some profound frustrations. And some of those ideas may have ebbed and flowed, they may have kept going, but some may have got washed away. And that may have been quite hard to take. What we get with this event is a superior conjunction, and that's when Mercury is direct. But in the Earth sign of Taurus, which is very practical, gives us a chance to really get into the roots of a situation. And rather than feeling affected by that water, be much more clear about what we're thinking and how we want to express it. Very Mercury principles. So just to say also, we're going to have 6 Cazimis this year, and 3 of them will be inferior conjunctions, and they're all in water signs. Next one up is on the 13th of July in Cancer. So on the screen now is your event chart, and there's the dynamic duo at 2348. Let's just unpack Taurus. So Taurus is the second zodiac sign. It's a fixed sign, so it has a steady purpose. It's ruled by the gorgeous Venus, so it can be sensual. It's encouraging us to be aware of our value, our self-worth, but also around everyday money. But because this combination for you occurs in the third house of your solar chart, your solar overlay, it's really quite reflective of that Gemini energy that Mercury rules. Quick communications, very nimble, very sharp, can be very humorous, but still grounded in that lovely Tauran energy. Also, if we think that Mercury rules the Earth sign of Virgo, because this is an Earth conjunction, that reflects the Virgoan energy of precision. So we have a real opportunity here further, because they're in the third decan of the sign of Taurus, sub-ruled by Saturn. Saturn's very serious and of course rules the sign of Capricorn in terms of its sole domiciliary ruler. So we get a chance to think very seriously, but structure our ideas carefully. It's a good thing not to rush, because Mercury can be very zippy, very effervescent, but in this particular location, slower, but in a positive way, a good way. So if you have something that you want to clarify from that 9.5 near to 10 week period, which didn't really get going, if you need to get in touch with someone, if you need to propose something, you need to write a document, anything to do with data, your own channel, if you're doing something on social media, you can really sparkle. But the key is not just that you're going to say something, you're going to say it with purpose, because that's Taurus. But we do need to look at the other players in this event, not least your two rulers. And you know, your traditional ruler, Jupiter, is playing a celestial blinder. There in that fifth house can be wonderful to showcase warmth. It can be to do with pleasure, leisure, children if you have them in their pursuits, but it can be about romance. It's going to be highlighted now through to the end of June in a much more positive way than it has been since it first arrived at the start of June last year and was afflicted by Saturn. And you know, Jupiter is linking in to Mercury and the Sun in an almost perfect sextile. In fact, earlier in the week, there was perfect sextiles. Monday for the Sun and Wednesday for Mercury. And Mercury can be about marketing, Jupiter can be about trade, and also we have the opportunity to convey a message of warmth with a lot more confidence, but also be in touch with the more instinctive emotional side of it because of Jupiter's exaltation in Cancer. But we can also be dryly sincere. So I think you'll be able to measure your words in a way that really land. People will know that what you're saying you mean, and that gives you greater impact. But also we have quite the collective in the second house of your solar chart, which has a Taurus echo, and that includes Saturn, which can be quite testing in the second house in terms of how we value ourselves, our self-worth, and even our income. But he's going to be there for the next 2 years. But you know, the passionate energies of Mars, the more sensitive vibe of the moon, that combination itself is potentially a little bit volatile. It could make you a bit more impulsive about buying something, particularly because they're in a square with Jupiter. But why not if you can afford it? But what they are doing is forging a wondrous link to Venus, which, guess what, rules the sign of Taurus. So there's lots of reasons to really enjoy this event. And if you are talking to someone within your family or locality, third house can be to do with interactions in our community online, as much as our physical community, can be our conversations with siblings, can, of course, be anything to do with texting and emailing. But I think that having Venus in that fourth house is very lovely, particularly if you're wanting to have a gathering at your home and invite people around and perhaps spoil them with some nice food and wine. Delicious. But we do also have Pluto for the long term now in your 12th house, which is very transforming, but he is in a great link with your modern aquatic ruler Neptune, but critically also with the dynamic Uranus. So if something's coming up from the depths, and it may link to an old emotional situation, and it could be around the family situation, I think you do have a chance to perhaps dissect it, even if you don't choose to discuss it. So just thinking things through, because if we think more broadly, Uranus was making its way through your third house for the most part of 7 years. And there may have been times when you did feel stressed out, overloaded, too much nervous energy. And now you can bring a little calm perspective and deeper analysis to the situation. I'm going to summarize those 4 areas of vitality, work, finance and relationships next, Pisces. But just to say, I've slashed the price of my personal horoscopes. You can now buy one, get three for the price of one. The one you buy is your life roadmap report. Helps us to understand the patterns that play out in our lives so far, get more intimately aware of them, and can work better with them future forwards. The one you get three is your 12 months transit, totally unique to you, and also your draconic life, your draconic analysis. That's your karmic soul analysis. 3 for the price of 1. I've been doing this 30 years, and I want to share how natal astrology can really help us to decode and decipher how we make our way through this sometimes complex journey called life. If you've yet to watch your May monthly forecast, that's on the screen. Yet to watch your Uranus 78-year Sun return with a Cazimi. That video's on the screen. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, absolute pleasure. It is very humbling when I read through the comments and all the places around the world that I work. Pleasure to help if I can. If you've yet to take advantage of my free daily horoscope, find your device each morning for your early day celestial pit stop. Please sign up for that below. You can also, underneath this video, download your free Mercury Cazimi factoid. So, to summarize, when it comes to your professional situation, your clarity of thought can definitely land well at the moment. If you do work in anything to do with teaching, training, or technology, you can really shine. If you do need to show more confidence in conveying a message, Jupiter gives you tremendous support and elevation. When it comes to finances, I think this event may see you want to splash a bit more rather to conserve it, but if you can afford it, why not? It wouldn't be a surprise if you did buy some things for your home or invited people around to enjoy it with you. When it comes to neat romance, I think the combination of these two and Jupiter suggests if there is someone you're interested in, you will find a way, I feel, to use just the right language to reach out to them. Whether they be fully availing, I don't know, but all I can say is the planets are right behind you. As far as neat energy is concerned, I think it is a time when perhaps you are going through a deep reflective. And if stuff is coming up from the past, that can be draining. But just know it's a process. But it's a process that is actually going to liberate you from some past hurts and pains. And that's part of Uranus's journey through the fourth house, but most of all with the support and assistance of Pluto. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you. All the best, and look forward to seeing you again soon.